I'm a total hack. Go on, say it. There were a lot of people that thought Traxxas was coming out with a solid axle monster truck, and they were, just on a smaller scale. These are the new TRX-4MTs, one Ford, one Chevy, so you can battle right out of the gate. In this video, I'm gonna tell you all the new parts that are on this TRX-4M platform. Then we're gonna go outside and hit the dirt for some monster truck action. Well, I've got some good news about the MTs. Traxxas didn't just go slap some monster truck tires on the High Trail Edition. They made a number of changes to the truck, and I'm gonna go over everything you need to know. We're gonna start off with the body, which are actually pretty similar to the High Trail bodies. Luckily, they came out with both a Ford and Chevy at the same time, so you guys get to pick your favorite brand, race against your friend with a different truck if you want to. They have the bodies in different colors like they did before, and they're still hard plastic bodies. They've got tons of chrome accents, the grills, bumpers, roll bar, mirrors, and even the wipers. The big change is now they have this chrome engine detail popping out of the hood. I like that they even went and added a decal underneath to give it some depth, like it's actually popping through the hood. They've got some decals on the air cleaner just to give it a little bit more scale detail. These bodies look awesome. Clear windows on this truck, lots of chrome trim on the sides and everything, and no body clips, of course. They just got their little pull tabs underneath, and you just go pop that in the front and rear, and you could easily take the body off. They've actually got LED lights already installed from the factory, so you'll have to pull that plug from the receiver when you completely remove the body. But these are definitely great looking bodies, and I heard a rumor that they're going to have Bigfoot decals that you could buy for the truck as well. So let's take a look at the chassis, because this is where they've made some changes. The chassis itself, they've got this deep drop chassis set up. It's stamped metal just like the previous versions were, but look at that big side panel there. Allows you to put the decals on it, gives you a monster truck look, and there is some changes to the rear rails. It angles up for the rear bumper and everything. So that's a major change to this truck. And also, you're gonna notice they have 2 shocks on each corner. So that means there's new shock perches on all 4 corners. And then the battery box is still the same. The front rear bumper mounts are still the same. And let's get into that suspension, because I know you guys are eyeing it. So twin shocks on each corner. One shock is oil filled. The other is just a slave shock, no oil on the inside of it. And these things feel pretty good. They've got some spacers in the rear, and I took the shock apart. Looks like you could add O-rings and bladders to the secondary shock later on down the road. But the links on here looks like the same as the High Trail links. They're a composite link, 4 link in the front, 4 link in the rear. Actually, back to the shocks, the lower shock mount is just a clip-on type of setup. So it slides over the front of the axle, and then a screw goes through the link mount there and just secures it in place. So it looks like maybe it's an easy add-on if you wanted to convert a TRX-4M. I don't know if you'd want to do that. I don't know if it makes sense cost-wise to do it. Just wanted to show you guys how that was set up. Now let's get into the drivetrain. Pretty much similar drivetrain to the TRX-4M. Got the centrally mounted transmission with the 16.6:1 transmission ratio in there. Plastic gears and bushings throughout. And I know people are going to cry about the bushings. I bet you a ton of these things are going to be sold to people just messing around, and bushings are going to be fine for those people, and the true hobby enthusiasts will be able to swap everything out for ball bearings. The stuff is definitely out there. The front axle and rear axle are set up with the composite ring and pinion, bushings inside that as well. Steel CVs up front, steel straight shafts in the rear, and then bushings out in the steering knuckles. And at the end of the axles, you're going to notice these large chevron tires. These aren't actually glued to the wheels, so if you want to go add foam to those, I guess you could. If you want to glue them, if you're going to put some more power into this thing, you could do that as well. But that option is there for you to do, or you know, if you get this thing wet, you'll be able to dump the tires out really easily. Chrome smoothie wheels. Now let's get into the electronics. They gave us the metal geared servo for the steering up front, and it's the standard steering link that connects the servo to the steering knuckles. Then moving back, it's the Titan 180/87 turn motor, and then they gave us the Traxxas ECM 2.5 receiver speed controller combo that allows you to go add some lights into it later on down the road. You can plug in a standard servo. If you do want to upgrade the servo, motor plugs right in, and then it has their Traxxas ID plug fitted to the battery. This is also your on-off switch that allows you to always unplug it so you don't drain your LiPo battery pack down. LiPo battery pack is included, just secured with this rubber strap. It's a 750 milliamp battery pack. Paired to the truck is the TQ radio system, 2.4 gigahertz, your basic trim functions. They also also give you a USB charger, poster, instruction manual, parts list breakdown, and some basic tools and preload clips for the shocks. Love the look of the truck, guys. Like that it's got a bigger stance than the TRX-4M high trails, and it looks really good next to one of the 10 scale high trails. Time to head outside and have fun with these mini monster trucks. Well guys, since I had 2 trucks, I had to pick up my buddy Paul. You've seen him here on the channel before. We've set up this basic little course and we're just gonna run these things around. All right, you ready, Paul?
Ready.
This is gonna be a super basic run. On your mark, get set, go. That is full throttle. You cut that corner really good. You know, I'm driving one-handed.
Set, go.
Why don't you call it this time?
Go.
I think I got you off the line on that one. I think your truck's faster. I mean, I'm full clip. Yeah, you switch the trucks. I want the faster truck. You can't like show me up on everyone.
Set, go.
Maybe it's because I'm driving one-handed. Oh, little crash up. You still beat me that time. What the? Go. All right, we got a little wheelie that time at least. I would have liked to see a little bit more speed out of these. What do you think?
They're pretty cool. They're a lot of fun.
A little bouncy. Maybe we need to add oil to that second shock on each wheel.
The scale looks are awesome, especially with the running working headlights.
So Paul and I had fun on the race course, but we both decided that the trucks need a little bit more speed. I'm definitely going to try out their optional gearing set. All right, guys, I need to know the top speed of the truck, so let's just check it out with the GNSS. And here we go. It's hitting about 4 miles an hour. Let's turn it around here. Pulled up the wheel a little bit on that. And it looks like we topped maybe 4.2. That is not it. There we go. 4 miles an hour. I think I saw 4.2. 4 miles an hour is going to get old pretty quick. So I want to see if this $5 fix is going to work. This is their high-speed gear set. And I'm going to go drop this in and we'll see how fast it goes. All right, let's see how we do with the high speed set. Start. And there we go. Not looking like much more. So I'm gonna back around. Oh no, we're hitting over 6 now. I think I almost hit 6.8 there. Read. Well, it's showing 6. Let's see how it does on the fly. 6.1, a little over 6 miles an hour. So 2 more miles an hour for $5. Let's wrap up these MTs. Traxxas makes some killer bodies for their vehicles. This Ford and Chevy monster truck, very cool. Like that they gave us all the chrome accessories. Supercharger sticking out of the hood is a nice little addition to it. And then the chassis updates to this. I like that they went and just created a whole new chassis for it with the larger side panels. Gives it that monster truck look without adding a ton of weight to the truck. Like that they went and gave us dual shocks. Just adds to the fun factor, the look of it. Handling wise, I think I would have liked to seen oil in that second shock as well, but the truck's not overly bouncy. It's still manageable to drive. Considering they don't have open differentials in the axles, the truck steers pretty well, handles pretty well, but that might be a nice option to see later on down the road at some point. The big thing here for me was I think you just needed a little bit more speed out of the box. You know, 4 miles an hour, it does get a little old pretty quick. So, you know, if you're in a confined space, smaller area, let's say inside your house, you got a small spot in your backyard, it's gonna be fine for that. But you know, if you're in a larger area, you're immediately gonna notice that these things are a bit on the slow side. And when you do add a little bit more speed, I was able to put the high-speed gearing in there. you gotta watch. It's a little edgy when you're at full throttle. There's definitely a lot of upgrade potential for these. Traxxas has all of their option parts. You go and deck this thing out, make it look really cool, and I think it's a really fun addition to their lineup. I think we wanted it. They definitely delivered something cool like they normally do, and these things are going to be a blast. Unfortunately, I don't know how much they cost, so as soon as I find out that information, I will have it listed in the video description below, and that's where you could also find links. See you guys back soon for some more RC Driver videos.